Vietnam is a country that stands out for its real tangible contrasts and deep-rooted identity. It's a place where history isn't just remembered, it's lived daily. Spanning 331,000 square kilometers in Southeast Asia, Vietnam is bordered by Cambodia, Laos, and China, making it a natural melting pot of cultures. The landscape shifts from sprawling rice fields to buzzing urban hubs, offering visitors more than just a postcard view. It's a ground-level encounter with life. The population of Vietnam exceeds 100 million, ranking it 15th globally. What's striking isn't just the number, but the energy. With an average age of 32, Vietnam thrives on youthful drive. Streets are filled with scooters zipping past, small businesses blooming on every corner, and a society that embraces change while keeping one foot firmly in its traditions. Vietnam's diversity runs deeper than its landscapes. Among its 54 ethnic groups, the majority are Kin, accounting for 85% of the population. But what truly sets Vietnam apart is its ethnic minorities. Groups like the Hmong, Tay, and Khmer are not relics of the past. They actively shape the culture today. From the colorful markets of the mountainous north to the unique crafts of the Mekong Delta, these communities are the heartbeat of Vietnam's multifaceted identity. Hanoi, Vietnam's capital, perfectly captures this dynamic. Founded in the 11th century, it isn't just a city, it's a timeline of events carved into every building and street. French-style villas sit beside ancient pagodas, reflecting Vietnam's colonial history and resilience. Hoan Kiem Lake, with its calm waters and local stories, serves as a daily reminder of the balance between the old and new. Meanwhile, the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum anchors the city in modern history, honoring the leader who shaped its current path. Heading south to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam's largest and busiest metropolis, the change in pace is immediate. Once called Saigon, this city serves as the country's economic hub. The streets are packed with motorbikes, markets, and businesses working around the clock. Modern skyscrapers stand next to historic landmarks like the Reunification Palace, where key moments of the Vietnam War unfolded. The War Remnants Museum offers a straightforward and often chilling look at the conflict's legacy, while Binh Thanh Market gives visitors a chance to explore local goods from fresh produce to textiles. Vietnam's history is one of resilience. Starting with ancient kingdoms in the 2nd century BC, it has been shaped by foreign influence and occupation. Centuries of Chinese rule left marks on its governance and culture. French colonization in the 19th century introduced architectural styles, coffee, and bread, some of which remain integral to daily life. The Vietnam War, however, stands out as the country's most transformative period. For nearly 20 years, North and South Vietnam fought a brutal civil war, fueled by Cold War rivalries between the US and Soviet Union. The war ended in 1975 with the reunification of the country, but not without leaving a deep imprint on its society. Today, Vietnam is an emerging economic force. Its recovery from the war and transition into a growing market economy showcase its adaptability and determination. Cities like Ho Chi Minh City drive much of this growth, but rural areas remain vital, supporting agriculture and traditions passed down for generations. Cultural diversity is another cornerstone of Vietnam's identity. Martial arts like Vo Nam and Quyen are not just self-defense techniques, but are ingrained in the local way of life, promoting discipline and strength. Performances like the Lion Dance and Umbrella Dance are practical demonstrations of cultural pride, tied to festivals and community gatherings rather than just staged shows for tourists. Music in Vietnam isn't just entertainment, it's a living piece of its history and culture. Instruments like the John Bao, monochord zither, and John and I, two-string fiddle, carry centuries of tradition. The Jan Tran, 16-string zither, delivers a melodic softness, while the Jan Nguyet, moon-shaped lute, adds rhythmic depth to every performance. These sounds don't exist for show. They represent the everyday emotions and stories of Vietnamese life, deeply tied to the people and their roots. Now let's talk coffee. Vietnam isn't just a coffee producer, it's a global powerhouse, second only to Brazil. Its coffee culture is unique, fueled by Robusta beans that pack a bold punch and Arabica varieties that offer smoother, more refined flavors. What sets Vietnam apart isn't just the beans, but the experience of drinking coffee. Imagine sitting on a crowded sidewalk, balancing a small glass of café suaja, iced coffee with condensed milk, on a tiny plastic stool. The hustle and bustle around you add to the flavor, making it less about the drink and more about the moment. Vietnam also has its quirks, and one of the most surprising is its lack of a minimum legal drinking age. While this might sound unusual, drinking in Vietnam is less about excess and more about connection. Beers are shared over casual meals, and drinking often revolves around family, friends, and shared stories. It's not about overindulgence, it's about togetherness. When the sun goes down, Vietnam's nightlife steps into the spotlight. Cities like Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi offer something for every preference, from modern rooftop bars with panoramic views to intimate, tucked-away speakeasies. But the real action is out on the streets. Night markets burst with energy. Vendors serve sizzling dishes, stalls overflow with handmade goods, and music fills the air. Karaoke on the sidewalk? Absolutely. Crowds dancing in public squares? A nightly tradition in some places. In Vietnam, nightlife isn't confined to clubs or bars. It's a community event that welcomes everyone to join in. Vietnamese cuisine is straightforward and rooted in everyday life, using fresh ingredients and balanced flavors. A bowl of pho is not a luxury, but a staple, made from beef bones simmered for hours, flavored with spices like star anise and ginger, and served with rice noodles, herbs, and optional chili. Banh mi is another everyday favorite, combining crusty baguettes with grilled pork, pate, pickled vegetables, and fresh cilantro. Goi quan, fresh spring rolls, are light and refreshing, filled with herbs, shrimp, and vermicelli noodles. Cha co to, a caramelized fish dish, is a common family meal, combining sweet and savory flavors through a slow-cooked process that highlights simple ingredients. The key to Vietnamese food is its accessibility. Coriander, basil, lime, and chili are used to elevate basic ingredients into flavorful meals. Nothing is overly complicated, and every dish feels intentional, designed to fit the climate, culture, and rhythm of daily life. Beyond the food, Vietnam's landscapes are just as practical and awe-inspiring. The Hoang Liên Sun Mountains, home to Phan Xipang, are used for agriculture, with terraced rice fields making the most of the steep terrain. These fields aren't just for show, they support local livelihoods. In Ha Long Bay, the limestone islands rising from the sea aren't just a tourist attraction, they've been a shelter and fishing ground for generations. These natural features are integral to the lives of the people who live there. Vietnam's architecture also reflects its history and values. The Temple of Literature in Hanoi, once a university, shows the importance placed on education and intellectual growth. It's a simple structure with stone courtyards and old trees, but its meaning runs deep. In Da Nang, the Linh Ung Pagoda stands as a reminder of spirituality in daily life, with a massive white Buddha statue watching over the city and sea. Living in Vietnam offers unbeatable affordability, making it a great option for budget-conscious travelers or expats. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in central Hanoi costs between $300 and $500 per month. In Ho Chi Minh City, the range is slightly higher, around $400 to $600. Eating out is where Vietnam truly shines. A hearty meal at a local restaurant will set you back just a few dollars. Even high-end restaurants are surprisingly affordable, with full-course meals averaging $15. Groceries are inexpensive, public transportation is reliable and cheap, and cultural activities are accessible without high costs. What's impressive is that affordability doesn't come at the expense of quality. Housing is modern, food is fresh and flavorful, and services are efficient. Vietnam's transportation system is as unique as the country itself. The traffic, at first glance, might feel overwhelming. Motorcycles dominate the roads, weaving through cars, buses, and pedestrians in what looks like complete chaos. But take a moment and you'll notice an unspoken system. Drivers anticipate each other's moves in creating a flow that somehow works despite the apparent madness. Motorcycles are the lifeblood of Vietnam's streets, carrying everything from families of 4 to towering stacks of goods that seem to defy physics. It's not unusual to spot a scooter loaded with chickens, flowers, or even furniture, turning the daily commute into a spectacle. For those who prefer not to navigate the streets on 2 wheels, Vietnam offers other options. In major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, sleek metro lines are emerging, providing a modern and efficient way to get around. Meanwhile, buses connect nearly every corner of the country, from urban centers to rural villages. These buses may not always be the most comfortable, but they're incredibly affordable and reliable, making them a go-to for budget-conscious travelers and locals alike. Taxis and ride-hailing apps like Grab are widely available in cities, offering a more comfortable way to get around without breaking the bank. For shorter trips, cyclos, 3-wheeled bicycle rickshaws, provide a slower, more traditional way to experience the streets, particularly in tourist-heavy areas. Long-distance travel is just as accessible, with trains and sleeper buses offering cheap and scenic routes across the country. Vietnamese women are a reflection of the country's resilience and adaptability. Their appearance, characterized by smooth skin, dark hair, and graceful movements, catches the eye, but their strength and determination are what leave a lasting impression. They hold traditional roles close, caring for families and upholding cultural values, yet they're also carving out significant spaces in modern industries. Whether it's managing households, running businesses, or contributing to agriculture, these women balance their responsibilities with quiet efficiency and determination. The Ao Dai, Vietnam's traditional dress, is a symbol of this duality. Its elegant, flowing design showcases grace and femininity, but the women wearing it often carry out roles requiring immense strength and endurance. In the fields, factories, and offices, Vietnamese women are integral to the nation's progress. They embody a work ethic that speaks to generations of overcoming challenges while keeping family and tradition at the center of their lives. And there it is, Vietnam, a country that captivates with its rich culture, stunning landscapes, and resilient people. Whether you're drawn to its flavorful cuisine, its breathtaking natural beauty, or the inspiring spirit of its communities, Vietnam offers an experience unlike any other. Have you visited this incredible country? Share your favorite moments and discoveries below. If not, what's stopping you? Vietnam deserves a spot on your travel list, and it's ready to welcome you with open arms.